Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 has a bunch of secret hidden features that the game just does not tell you about, many of which that if you know about can give you an absolutely massive advantage. For example, did you know that you do not need to find or buy a single alchemy recipe? If you know the recipe, all you have to do is craft the potion and then it will automatically get added to your recipe book. And on the screen, you are currently seeing every single recipe that is available in the game so that you can just pause this video at any given moment for any recipe that you're missing and go and craft it, and then you will have it forever. You can also just look them up online if you prefer to do that as well. This means that from day one, you can start right off with strong poisons and healing potions. Blacksmithing is one of those systems like alchemy is for a lot of other people that I feel kind of sucks. I don't really enjoy it, but did you know that it's not nearly as complex or involved as the game leads you to believe? There are only two things that you need to ensure you do. One, keeping up a rhythm is relatively important. You don't have to hold the rhythm or be perfect with it, but the better you are with it, the better your weapon is going to be generally. And as far as like hitting different spots goes, the only rule here is you can't keep hitting the same spot over and over. You don't need to spread those out or anything like that. You just hit two separate spots back to back, rotating between the two, and that's all you need to do. It doesn't keep track of anything other than whether or not you're hitting the exact same spot over and over again. So for example, if you're crafting a sword, just move the sword up and down and hit the same two spots back and forth, alternating between the two. Same thing goes with something smaller like an axe. You can do the exact same thing. As you see on the screen here, I'm just slightly shifting my mouse up and down as I'm hitting it, and yeah, that's it. It also doesn't matter how hard you hit it. You can just tap, 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 and it will craft actually pretty quickly. But what's even better is you don't even have to touch blacksmithing at all, and you can still level your craftsmanship very easily, and that is just through doing repairs. So essentially, all you need to do is stock up on a bunch of the different repair kits, which are very easy to buy. You can purchase them at tons of different vendors, and they are relatively cheap. Then you just go to a bunch of bandit camps and collect all of the armor and the weapons that are on the bandit camps. And the great thing about doing these is that they are usually in very bad shape. And the worst shape that the item is in when you repair it, so the more you have to repair it, the more experience you gain. And on top of that, from what I can tell, you don't have to do them individually. Like, you got to do a lot of other things in this game to maximize your experience. Just bring up the menu, select everything that needs to repair and repair it, and you'll get a massive boost to your experience for craftsmanship, ensuring that you never have to touch any type of blacksmithing, yet you can still max out this skill. So I've seen a lot of videos talk about how you can level strength and vitality very easily just by making sure that you're encumbered. The more encumbered you are when you move around, the more experience you'll gain in strength, which in turn boosts vitality. But there's an even better way to level these skills, one of which will also allow you to level agility. You can level agility by dodging. Now, you need to perfect time this, or somewhat perfect time it. Essentially, when the little green shield pops up in which you would block or master strike or any of that stuff, instead of doing those things, you just dodge. So you hit spacebar and any one of the directional keys and you will dodge. When you do this, you gain a chunk of experience in your agility. If you do this while encumbered, which you can do, you will level all three of these skills at the same time. The best way to do this, and the way to just grind all of these out and max them out super fast, is just go to a fighting arena, tell the person you want to practice, get into the ring, put your weapon away, hold down Alt or whatever key it is for you, and tell them to attack you, and just start dodging. That's it. That's all there is to it. Do this and you will level all of these skills back to back. Swords are absolutely busted in this game, and that is for one reason only, and that is the Master Strike. You don't ever have to attack an opponent if you know how to do the Master Strike and you are good at doing it. Essentially, you wait for them to attack you and you retaliate. That's it. Wait for them to attack you and then retaliate. And they will never be able to get in an actual attack, and you will always just hit them back. It is absolutely broken. It is even more broken when you combine it with a Bane potion, specifically Henry's Bane potion. This is the highest level of Bane potion that you can make in the game, and it is extremely broken. It states that it's not good for weapons, but it is phenomenal for weapons. You can put it on anything just the same as you can with all of the other potions, and it makes them all obsolete. It only takes one good strike with a sword, and if you're already good at master striking, well, there you go. You wait for your enemy to attack, you hit them one time with a Bane-coated sword, and they're just dead. They're just dead. You don't have to do anything after that. You don't have to retaliate. You hit them one time, stab them, whatever, and then you just hold block and wait patiently, and they will fall over after a few seconds. It is absolutely busted, and it trivializes most combat in the game. Some clothing can give you secret bonuses that it doesn't tell you about, specifically the leather apron and a bunch of different different types of gloves can affect your craftsmanship stat. The leather apron will add 3 to the stat, and some gloves can add up to 2, some will add 1, some will not add any. It just depends on the type of gloves that they are. You just got to put them on and see if that stat changes. This is especially handy if you're trying to get this stat higher because you are doing blacksmithing and you're trying to get a lot of damage on your sword to get it to max level, things like that. It also helps ensure that you don't use as much durability on your repair kits when you're repairing things. Speaking of clothing, something the game does not tell you is that when things overlap, they cancel out bonuses from other types of clothing. For example, if you're wearing just a normal shirt and that gives you, let's say, 22 charisma, and you cover that shirt with a coat that, let's say, for example, gives you 5 to charisma, well, now you only get 5 to charisma because you have covered up that shirt you are wearing with your new coat. The same thing happens for stats with your stealth and such as well. So your conspicuousness, your noise, and your visibility. If you are wearing something that has very low visibility and you put something that has higher visibility over top of it, well, it cancels that out. Now, all of the things that can be seen, those stats get averaged together to give you your actual stats. But when you cover said seen thing up, you then cancel out that thing's stats. So pay attention to the layers of clothing that you're wearing and what those stats are, and make sure that the outer layers are the ones that have the best stats possible on them, because those are the ones that are going to affect your actual stats. This is very important for people who like to play the stealth game, and also very important for people who like to play the charisma game. It seems like a ton of people hate the alchemy in this game, specifically because they hate picking herbs. But did you know it's very easy to pick a ton of herbs at one time, getting rid of the tedium of picking just 1 or 2 at a time in order to get large quantities? When you pick herbs, you actually pick an AoE of herbs around you. So the denser the patch of herbs is, the more you pick at one time. This means that herb gardens are extremely beneficial for those of you who hate the herb picking part of alchemy, because the herbs in herb gardens are relatively densely packed, meaning that you just pick them 1 or 2 times and you can end up with 30 to 40 herbs in just 2 quick picks. And considering it only takes 1 to 2 herbs per potion, and you can make up to 6 potions at one time if you have the proper perks, it doesn't take much before you have more herbs than you know what to do with and can make more potions than you're ever going to use. And there are way more herb gardens than what actually get marked on your map as herb gardens. A lot of people have little gardens next to their house which will contain patches of herbs. So keep an eye out for them when you are around buildings. That's usually where they're at, is around buildings and houses. Wherever the people are, you can find these little herb gardens. Usually they'll just contain 1 type of herb, and you may or may not need that herb right then and there, but my advice would be to just pick them, dry them, because they'll last forever if they're dried, and then when you go to make whatever potion, you will probably have the herb for it. Last but not least, speaking of drying, if you poach an animal and its meat shows up stolen, which it will, you can get rid of the stolen status really easy just by drying it. That's it. Once you dry whatever meat you have poached, it will no longer be poached, and you won't have to worry about dealing with the guards or anything like that. All right, that is going to wrap it up for this video. Hopefully you all found this video helpful and informational. If you did, please consider hitting the subscribe button and notification bell so you can be notified when I upload other videos. And if you're looking for some more of my content, you can find a link to another one of my videos on the screen right now. I want to give an absolute massive shout out and thank you to all of my channel supporters for helping to keep these videos sponsor free. You all are absolutely amazing people. If you would like to become an official channel supporter, check out the links in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. If you're shy, you don't like to comment, just hit that thumbs up button and share your support. Until next time, thanks for watching.